A long time since I've spoken here. This church is filled with so much love. You walk in here, it's like a big warm hug. It's just that awesome here. And I'm so happy to be here. And
happy to have you.
I left my notes at home. So, what I'm speaking about today is forgiveness. And I think that's probably one of the first things we learn as our souls come in and wear these human suits. One of many things that we learn in the progression of our life. And there's a couple of the principles that are tied together for me. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. And the doorway to reformation is never closed against any soul here or hereafter. So, having said that, when we are children, we learn how to cope with our parents, our siblings, our classmates. And as we get older, that sphere just gets bigger that we're in. And not everybody treats you the way that you would like to be treated because they're different from you. You're different from them. And we all have free will, how we react to something. You know, do we knee-jerk or do we step back and count to 10? But we've all hurt people. We've all been hurt by people. It's unavoidable. We're having a human experience here. So forgiveness is a big part of that. It allows you to move forward and not stay held in one place or holding a grudge. None of us are perfect. None of us. I believe that the majority of humanity tries very hard to do the right thing all the time. But we are a planet of contrast, and there are people who want to, you know, stir the pot, so to speak. And we all encounter them. So, to have forgiveness, you first have to have compassion. You have to have understanding. You have to say, why did they do that? Does that really apply to me? Did I deserve that? Do I own that? And you have to look at that and step back and say, let me discern what's going on here. What is my part in this? Or is it just simply the place that they're in their life where they hurt or lack? And so you take the judgment out of it, and you allow them to be who they are on their path, doing the best they can while you do the best you can. And when you take the judgment out and you have the compassion, you can generate the forgiveness that we all need and we all want, and that we all need to give, because we're all in this together. I do have a story of forgiveness that happened in this church. My deceased husband, Mike, and he's okay with me telling this, by the way. When he was a younger man, he was very proud of having more than one girlfriend at a time. He thought that was, you know, makes me a man. And after we started coming to the church, I think we'd been coming here probably about, I don't know, between 4 and 6 months. And it dawned on him that he wasn't very nice to these girls that he was dating at the same time, that they didn't know anything about each other. And it really, really, really bothered his conscience. And we had come to service that Sunday, and we were sitting in the back there, and he was crying because he was so distraught over the pain that he may or may not have caused these women. And I just put my hand on his hand and I said, why don't you talk to somebody here today? Why don't you tell them what's going on with you? And he goes, oh, it's so personal. And I said, God already knows. The universe already knows. Creator already knows. Whatever, you know, everybody already knows that matters. this is between you and trying to heal yourself, forgive yourself. And so on that day, he talked to Reverend Elaine. I don't know if she still serves the church or not, but she was a frequent server of the church at that time. And the two of them headed off, and they talked, I don't know, probably an hour here in the sanctuary. And they came out, and he had stopped crying. He was relieved. He was, he felt better. He felt like he had the answer to what he needed to do. And I'm so thankful that she was here at the church that day, that she could give him the assistance that he needed to understand himself better and understand how everything works. And one of the things that she said to him is, no, you don't need to approach everybody individually. You don't need to go back to your 20s, 30s, 40s and find all these women and say, I'm so sorry. He would have done it. But she said, no, send the apology out. Just send it out through the ether, through the fabric of the universe. Just send it out. They will receive it. Their higher conscious will receive it. And whether they, in their human conscious, really realize it or not, they will absolutely know it in their higher conscience. And then you've done the right thing. And also, you can ask for the forgiveness the same way, through the ether, through prayer, through whatever your personal practice is to reach other people. And that leads me to the doorway to Reformation is never closed to anyone here or hereafter, because that tells you that these women received his message and that he received theirs. And sometimes we don't know that until we go to spirit. We live with our conscience or, the things that we've done or not done. And so that was a huge relief for him, and that was wonderful. Fast forward to December 2019, and I was visiting a friend of mine in Texas. And she was working through the day, and I was at her house during the day. And I was walking, through the neighborhood and going to the store and, stuff like that. And the more I walked, the more I thought, and the more I healed. And I realized that when I was thinking about this occurrence with Murray here in the church, that I could send forgiveness backwards and forwards in time as well as current. And so I started doing that every day. I would sit with that for a while, asking for forgiveness, giving for forgiveness, asking for clarity, wanting to be compassionate, understanding, lack of judgment, and that was also very important to me. And it opened doors for me. I got back in the flow of life. I got back to doing the things that I enjoyed doing. I got back into joining some of the circles, going to some of the church services here and other places. And I finally found the happiness and joy in my heart again that maybe I never really truly had. I don't know. But when you can forgive and be forgiven, I think that is the greatest thing that can happen for anybody. And it doesn't mean that you continue to embrace somebody who's hurt you or done things that are not good for you. And again, don't judge them, just discern that this is not for me. This is not something I enjoy. We don't understand each other. I'm going to let you go your path. I'm going to go my path. It's okay to have boundaries. You can forgive and have boundaries. And that's perfectly fine. Because nobody wants to be repeatedly hurt because it's a family member or it's a sibling, or, you know, somebody in your work. You're allowed to have boundaries so that nobody can hurt you or you can hurt them. I'm trying to think what else I had in my notes. I do have something that my husband Alfredo, very sweet, asked me if I would use it, and I'm going to read it to you because I think that it's a good example. One of the important reasons why we don't remember anything when we reincarnate is that most of us aren't prepared to forgive those who, for example, murdered us in another life, ruined us, or hurt us badly, etc. Compassion is similar in vibration to forgiveness. Forgiveness is, I forgot what you did to me, how can we forgive better? When we believe we haven't made any mistakes, it's difficult to forgive. That's really important, because we do make mistakes. We do need to forgive. When we believe we have the right to judge those who have hurt us, it's very difficult to forgive. When we believe we have all the knowledge and solutions, it's very difficult to forgive. When we see ourselves as human, who have failed, made mistakes, caused harm, and despite all of that the Creator gives us, it's very easy to forgive. When you are forgiven by your loved ones, spiritual guides, being of light, deceased relatives, or the Creator, you already have the necessary push to forgive those who make mistakes, who do wrong, even deliberately. We are all learning. So, I don't know. Everybody has a different path. Everybody has different life experiences that we came here for. But I think forgiveness, compassion, lack of judgment, using discernment versus judgment, I think that benefits everybody worldwide. And when we forgive, if we can forgive all of humanity, past, present, future, how can that make us better for us? It can bring us more peace. It can put us back in the flow. It can release us from things that we may not realize were holding us back. So I'm a big proponent of forgiveness. And that's all I have to say today because I don't have my notes. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.